Hello everyone, so we are going to do a reading on, which one am I going to do? The Royals. Okay, so I've actually been downloading things, channeling, and just keeping notes. So I'm trying to get back in the rhythm, but I feel quite depleted and there's a lot going on. So if you enjoy the videos, give them a like, subscribe, comment, let me know. Even if you comment a rainbow or you comment a shit emoji, it doesn't matter, it just helps. I'm going to try and also do a preliminary reading on Emily Pike. So I'm going to acknowledge Donna's comment. I did offer in the global psychic predictions, so I will do that. But one of the reasons I'm going to go for this is two things. Until today, all last week, I felt Harry's energy as upset. Not just upset, but kind of depleted. Do you know when you get knocked down, you get up, knocked down, you get up, and then you get knocked down and you're like, I can't get up. Kind of that energy. And today when I'm thinking, shall I do this reading? Shall I do the global psychic predictions? Because I've got quite a few there. Emily Pike, Sebastian, other readings. And I thought, let's just go with the Royals. And he feels angry. So by the time you see this, I'm going to try and schedule it. So it might be two days after me recording it. You'll see it scheduled, and then obviously 2-3 days. But he feels so angry. So he's gone through I don't know what's happened. He's gone through this phase where something's really knocked him down, and he feels like it's embarrassing, but I want to say upset. There is upset, but he's kind of depleted about it. He's kind of like, I just don't know if I've got the will anymore, something like that. And today he's angry. So I'm not sure what that's about. King Charles definitely has betrayal coming up and loss. And I don't mean loss of him. I mean he needs to be careful of the red flags around him. April, May, June. All right. But I'm going to go back to my notes from March, Feb as well. I don't know much of what's going on with the Royals, but if there's something I know, I'm just not going to repeat it. Now, because I've channeled, there might be some predictions that come up again, and I would recommend you check the global psychic predictions, and we will have another one of those as well. I actually forgot that I did this royal sort of channeling until I was doing that psychic predictions. There's also the Gene Hackman, see Emily Pike's, and I've also got download for that lady who was in Dominican Republic. Don't forget, in the psychic predictions, I will get royals coming up in that. So just trying to check. Yeah, so I've got some here. This is the latest. Let me just check. I haven't deleted the previous. I might have deleted them, to be honest. I'm going to pull cards as well. I hope you're all well. Seems like it's a very difficult time now. If you're feeling the energy is very draining at this moment, I think it's going to get better mid-April. I've got that in my predictions. I just feel it's horrible at the moment as well. Trying to, look on the brighter side of life and get ourselves together like we should. Where am I with the Royals? Sorry, bear with me. If I can't find it again now, I will just go ahead. I'll also do a UK reading, but do look out for the global psychic predictions, okay? Because I want to do Elon in the UK as well. I do feel Charles is a bit tired, like discombobulated. That didn't come out right. I had the Royals, I had the title The Royals because it came up in my global psychic predictions. Okay, so let's just start with the latest that I've got and then I'll revert back. I do think there's going to be 2, if not 3, main shocks, scandals coming out. One is going to relate to the Royals. It could be like an old mystery that comes to surface, but 100% there's also something coming out, but there's also something that could tie with the government and military, and it might not so much be about the Royals. It could be more like about young, you know how something gets so big in the news, it could be about younger aged people. This is UK, so I'm going to try and include that in the psychic predictions, but just in case. I wanted to ask, I don't know if I do this in the psychic predictions, about Heathrow Airport, because I am getting that there will be rumours that Putin is behind this. Remember, disclaimer, this for entertainment purposes only. Let's start pulling cards on them. Spirit doesn't want me to use this deck, another deck. Okay. We'll go for this deck. I also felt William was in a danger area. I don't know if they're traveling or something, but yeah, again, you know, this could be something coming up or is past because of me channeling and then not getting to the video. Help me feel energized with your energy, and I return it as well. I hope you're all well. It is a difficult period, but world chaos is because we're removing its new world order. So this year is like a chaotic. Watch March and April in terms of conflicts and wars as well. Let's pull cards on King Charles. King Charles. Ooh. Look at that. 3 major arcanas in a full deck. Wow. And the King of Pentacles, there he is on his throne. I think in April there's a new beginning around something, okay? What I do want to ask, I'm going to ask it from this card. It was this deck that Spirit didn't want me to use on Megan for some reason. So maybe not to start with her, which I haven't. I saw a thumbnail that he was just leaving, is it Clarence House? Please forgive me, but it's a medical checkup for his cancer. Now they've put it that way. Could it be something more serious or not? We're going to ask the cards. And obviously paupers, we don't go to houses, we go to hospitals. So it's interesting how the elite have these words, which, by the way, there's power in it. So why don't we also have these words where we visit? So it definitely looks like he was visiting because of his treatment. How is his treatment doing? How is he progressing? How is he feeling? Okay. there wasn't a major concern of, like, for example, so it could be a change of treatment, but there wasn't like a concern, oh, he's really ill, we need to do something else about it. That wasn't it. So it is more or less either a checkup or a change of treatment, but it's not like something's going really, really bad, really awire, okay? So in April, there seems to be a new chapter. Could that be new treatment that he's doing? It could link with that. I feel like it could also link to travel. So I don't know if he's been traveling, what he's been doing. Please forgive me for not knowing. You can validate that. You can also come back. This is April. Now we get to May. He's going to have to temper his energy. He's really needed to balance his energy as well. And in June, this is where I felt really trickiness around someone there's going to be betrayal, there's going to be loss. We're going to pull some clarifying cards. This 3 months is very significant for him. There could be legal things that come out of the woodworks, and that could be one of the shocks. I feel like he is quite dehydrated, he's tired. I do think that he could be abroad. I don't know if he would go in for a check where he needs to have some form of anesthesia, okay, within the next 3 months. Okay. Let's just go back a moment. Let's pull these clarifying cards. I just want to make sure I've not channeled anything else. But I can tell you, I really feel there is a big kind of betrayal around that. I don't know why some of this, my notes is not here. It's doing my head in. You'll have to let me know. I was wondering in my predictions whether to actually mention states and areas or just keep it general in terms of like extreme weather in these around the world, or actually try and mention, because I think energy is heavy and we don't really want to hear anything more heavier. So I'm in two minds of that. Can you let me know in the comments? Don't forget your grounding techniques, which I mentioned for the themes of this year, is really, really needed. I don't know how I've lost all my notes on this. It's really annoying. Let's have a look. So interesting. So the news could come out about May, June time. The news could be around a younger person. It could be to do with love affair. It could be to do with something else. Now, nothing ridiculous, please. I know there's sometimes comments on readers thing and they don't say anything. It's like he had an affair with this year with another lady, and this is coming out. I just think that's highly unlikely, but I don't think I have those viewers. Something here could tie in with Camilla, because I do think there's something coming up with her, by the way. Like, one of the things I was feeling is a real big gut punch in terms of something shocking with the royal family. So in April, we could hear news around Camilla. I'm a bit confused on what is tying to Charles. But really, it's kind of getting all your crap together and not getting caught up in self-sabotage, in negativity that can really harm you during this moment in time. And this is why in May, it's kind of like looking after yourself is really, really needed. There's some kind of bad energy here, but it seems like he's setting himself free. And I said, look, there could be a change in the treatment plan. It's actually good to see the devil in reverse, and we've got Capricornian energy, so there's something around monies as well. There's something around getting the house in order. There's something around possibly Camilla, like I said, but I also am drawn to number 2 here. Okay, so that is something that we could look out for. Okay. And then we get to May and we've got this temperance energy, and we see him looking after his health and the need to look after himself. Before then, something happens in June, and I think we're looking at May, June, and I think end of April there is something. So sometimes when I say May, June, you know, there's something at the end of April that I think coming through. But there's a release here from some form of self-sabotage or addiction, or, you know, realizing that he was giving his power away. And maybe that's why in May he's kind of like looking after oneself. Maybe here he was relying quite a bit on Camilla, right? Can you just bear with me while I go see if I've got my notes on another note pad? I don't, but I think I've more or less said. Let's look at an additional clarifying card for this. Sun. So something is actually brought to light, okay? But there is a loss, and look, there's the heartbreak, and there's a challenging decision. But at the end of it, the outcome brings something to light for him. During this time, though, he does feel really, really depleted. Okay, so right, we can always do a follow-up reading. Let's look at William next. Or let's look at Camilla. I do think there's going to be something coming out about her health. There's something there, but the most gut punch I feel is at this scandal or something that's coming up. Okay. There's definitely a rebirth here. Okay, so April is challenging for Camilla, and I thought that would be the case. Remember, it can cross over time. We're just giving it ballpark kind of whatever. There seems to be a challenge here where she's really trying to fight something or fight against something, and she's really trying to reach for what she wants, what she needs, but there's a dragging down of her, and I wonder what that is. She feels really stuck in something, not able to move forward. And it looks like she will be up against authority in some way. The government, the monarch, she's going to be up against something. There's a real energy of here really wanting to move forward, but she's pulled back. She's not able to. There's a bit of a loss somewhere, and there's a confusion. So she's trying to go forward, but there's a confusion. There's something that she's not able to see clearly. We've got the Emperor and the Hierophant. So really, I wonder if would she visit the Pope? There's something here where either, you know, she visits the Pope, something to do with that religious area, but she is held in some way by the monarch or the gov, you know, so who runs the country. She's really trying to fight for something. She's not able to at this moment in time. She's at a standstill. And then we look at sort of May time, and it looks really, really good, but there's a loss. There's a loss. So it could be a financial investment loss, but there is some form of loss. And she's kind of focusing on whatever she feels is a bit of a loss. And as she's trying to move forward, there's a confusion on what is happening. And this could also relate to the whole betrayal and loss that I feel Charles is going to have. Charles really needs to focus on the red flags, I'd say from mid-April or just April now to the end of June. Give or take, because I just like to give average timelines. And maybe this causes some confusion for her in terms of where's it coming from and how to move forward. And there's an element of, I mentioned that could be a shock, a scandal to do with the military. There's young people, a young energy, and it hits mass media. But this energy, it's not necessarily to do with Camilla. This energy also feels fake. So either the person that starts rolling it out is fake, or the news is fake, right? The news could be right, but the person who's rolling it out is also adding some spice, or is kind of not a great energy. There's something fake about what is to come out as well. But they will be experiencing a shock. So that's what we got for Camilla. When I was doing William, I really felt like he was in some sort of, he needs to be careful around wherever he is. So I don't know if he's traveling as well. And I feel like he's got quite a few things on. And so what he will be doing is halting on some things and going with the things that he prefers to do. Like they're both things that he needs to do, but he's choosing what he prefers to do. And so he might cancel some things off his list, or that he has his hands in, that are not so enjoyable. So he chooses what he wants to do, which could be international affairs. Remember the psychic predictions I mentioned, that the UK are focusing on international affairs, but that is going to get very challenging and go a bit awry for a bit later in a few months. So I don't know if he's traveling at the moment, but there is something where he needs to be careful. Let's look at William. Has Princess Catherine been out, by the way? Or have we got anything else on that? Let me know. the other thing, a while ago, I wanted to do a reading. I was getting really, what's the eldest called? Is it George? Is he starting boarding school? I was getting something about him, like his main base moving, and I feel like it's to do with boarding school. Like the focus around them is around his setup of a home. So I don't know if he's due to go to boarding school. Now, William, we've got the Six of Pentacles here in April, which I think is what he's doing. He's doing what is like, he's doing his duties, etc., but he's also giving and taking. So basically, I'm tying it with the energy I was getting, that he is doing what he's enjoying, and by doing what he's enjoying, he's also giving back. So I don't know what that is exactly. It could be his presence somewhere that is like a giving back, a respecting and honoring, but there is a reception, there is a balance of giving and take around April now and April time. May, I see that the focus could be one of his children. All right, so looking at, you know, give and take again, May could be, the focus could be around one of his children. And then in June, there's a clarity on something. Now, this could be with what comes up news-wise. There is clarity. He's a bit more strategic, less action, and the current energy and April time. So let's pull some clarifying cards. Page of Swords. I think there's a spying energy around William at the moment. And I think he might be aware of it. So yeah, can you see how I said there's a lot more strategy going on? I don't know when they do the royal calendar events, but there's in June, there's a lot of more strategy, paperwork kind of stuff, as opposed to maybe here there's travel, a lot of seeing him around, etc. Give and take. There is a spying energy around him, and this doesn't necessarily mean it, but because it's one of my channel things, that there is a spying energy. Let's just check on this. It's a hidden energy, but it could be from someone within the family, someone he knows. It is very hidden. Okay, it's a very hidden energy that's spying on him. And it is international. Okay, so if you think of what I've just said, we could probably get our answer there. Okay, so here we can see that maybe he's looking at, it could be the boarding school for the children. There's looking at finances, resources. Yeah, so I think here we're focused on the kids and the kids' next step. And let's look at definitely, I think there is going to be some legal advice here about way forward. I do think he's focused on work on a strategic aspect, but there's also something with Princess Catherine. It could be to do with her duties, how she wants the following year to go out. There's something here where they are negotiating something. I think he's honoring her feelings in something as well. So I do think that, but there is kind of ongoing right now and in April, a spying energy. It's hidden. It's someone family-wise that he knows, and it could be from overseas. Okay. I do think there's something ahead for Meghan, by the way. I do think she signed up for so many stuff. The last thing I knew was a website, wasn't there? And then was there a gourmet wine or something. I don't know. It was just like I don't know. I'm lost with her. So I think she's got her hands in so many things, and I think she's going to actually sign up to something that is big, and she's going to be a bit naive. So it's going to go a bit awire. So for example, or she could have done and we hear about it, or we've heard about it. It seems like this is not her fault. It was like, it's a great idea, let's do this, yeah, you can do this, you can do that, blah blah blah. She signs up for it, then something is not as spoken or agreed, or she didn't double check on one area within the thing that she could have done, and she's being restricted in terms of what she wants to do. Let's pull cards for her, and then we'll move on to Harry. Spirit wanted me to take that card that I didn't just take. I'd already gone past it. Yeah, can you see this restriction that stops her at a halt? But there is something ahead for her, and we've got quite strong, powerful cards. But she's determined, as she always is. She always shows she's not affected, although she speaks like she's a victim. Like, she keeps getting back up, doesn't she? So here we've got a Sagittarius energy, and I think it's about tempering her energy and tempering her response to things, because at some stage she's going to be going quite on her horse. She's going, but she's going to be stopped. So I think May time, her motivation, something is bubbling, stops her in her tracks. But coming towards June, she's up and going. And again, these time frames can mix, right? So we could hear about it in July, we could hear about it. Just remember, it can mix up, okay? This is a ballpark figure. Okay. I'm interested to see Harry, because him and Charles were one of the reasons I did this. And as I pulled that out, Spirit was like, this is Harry's energy. It's like, you know, focus on Meghan. So let's pull another card for this. Oh, I've got money on my mind. I definitely got money on my mind. So this is her getting her motivation back. This is her in a much stronger sense. I feel this month is tricky, okay? And I do think, you know, we was looking at William spying. We was looking at Charles. He got the charity. I'm sure it was Camilla, sorry, the chariot. There's a focus here on monies, and she is definitely dealing with someone who calls the shots in terms of how much she's going to get paid, contracts, etc. She's been waiting patiently for something she's worked at to really go boom, or, you know, bring in the success. And we see it here as well. And she's still patiently waiting, okay? She's also forgot about one thing she's worked on that has a potential, but she hasn't put all her energy in. She's waiting on one specific thing. She's put all her energy in, and there's some sort of patience needed. And as we move along, it's kind of like there's a halt on a payment. There's a halt on what she can do. There's a halt on the amount of time and energy that she maybe was contracted to put in. It's not going in her favor. There is something ahead for her. And coming towards June, again, it can all mix up. She finds her, where she's been stopped a bit, she finds her motivation and her way forward. It's interesting. She's got someone with Sag energy around her as well, quite heavily. A lot to do with money here, a lot to do with when will I be paid, what does the contract say, A lot about I did this, I did that, am I going to be paid? Is an agreement coming to a halt? But then June time, things seem to turn a bit of a different page. Let's look at Harry. I'm going to have to see what these shocks are coming for the royal family, and then that fake news media that kicks off in a big way, UK in general as well. Let's look at Harry. Are they said to have any trouble? I think they hide, don't they? Like a lot of people are rumored. They do a good job of hiding stuff, don't they? You don't know. Harry. Told to take this one. Okay. Harry coming to April, it seems like he's going to come to some harmonized agreement on something with someone. Okay, let's pull a clarifying right now. Three cards popped out. We're going to take them. Yeah, so it seems like something has needed balance, has needed agreement, and he's waited for the arrival of some sort of success, celebration in April time. Okay, I don't know what this is, but something that was not going in the right direction, that was up and down, turns out to be fruitful, and harmony is brought into the situation of this agreement. There could be also April, May time, a celebration. Is it someone's birthday, etc.? Now, I don't know if it's May or June that I think he might do a visit to the UK. I don't know why I'm getting that. Isn't it interesting? Meghan got these two cards for June. He's getting them for May. So it seems like he might be her strength in May. That then makes her able to, you know, in June feel a lot better. I find it really interesting the exact cards come out for him in May. He finds his inner strength. You remember I said I feel he was angry, he was really depleted, and I think this might be this energy tagging off from something that's come into celebration, into a harmony that was challenging. But there's something that he's not seeing clearly here, okay? There's something that's hidden from him. A betrayal, an ending of something, okay? Someone out to get him, possibly. And I feel like it could be something overseas. It could be related, you know, I said there could be a visit to the UK May-June time. A visit to the UK May-June time. So it could be to do with visiting, you know, his dad, etc. There's something he can't see, and I feel like June is really concerning for him. This could be similar to the loss energy that I was feeling for Charles. You know, the loss that Charles is going to feel, endeavor, really sign. It's really going to make him feel like he's not himself. He needs to pay attention to red flags. And I feel like, given that I thought that there could be travel to the UK, and I don't think it's necessarily, if it is business, there is going to be a visit to his dad, his family, whoever will see him. And there's something hidden here. Maybe about the extent of the health of King Charles. Also around maybe his role within the monarch. Okay, there is a large concern here. So I'm going to leave this here, everyone. I hope you enjoyed this. Let's see what comes of it. Obviously, if any of this energy is present at the moment, you can let me know. Make sure you come back to revisit this over the next, 2-3 months. We'll try and do another reading. Obviously, I dedicate my energy on the readings that you want to see, so make sure you vote or like, comment which ones you are enjoying. Stay blessed, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye for now.